think I think porn is an obsession to some of the viewers because a number of things are an obsession to people. The human being in itself has the ability to be obsessed with something, right? Football. I know people who are obsessed with it. When they watch it, they dress up and they fucking put the faces on and they do all this crazy shit, right? Why not be obsessed with something that you enjoy, I guess, right? Just so happens to be in a sexual manner at this point, right?
What are the market demands on performers now? The market's changed. Online viewing, social media plays an important part, a dynamic in this industry. So how has that changed the demands on performers?
How has online and social media and things of that nature changed the...
Yeah. I mean, before a performer got in the industry, you didn't have a Twitter account or a Facebook. There's no social media. The girl may have had a fan club, a PO box somewhere, and so
right.
So now the market changes have made demands on the performers.
It gives the fans to have a voice. Gives the fans an option to have a voice. Gives us, the performers and the companies and the directors and the producers, to have more of a platform to hear more of a voice of a preference, or do this, don't do that.
Do you need that feedback from viewers and fans?
Do I need it? It's nice in some respect if it's a positive exchange, right? From a negative standpoint, obviously it gives them a platform to throw stones and to be of that type of thing. But then it also changes. It also has changed the business in the respect that they have more of a. Companies are now using, I guess, responses of that nature to what translates better, what color in a scene of a garment, what scenario of a scene in a garment, what pairing does better, what girl does better, how that translates.
Do you think it takes the creativity away from somebody who is a director or is somebody who's trying to form a
vision of someone?
Have a vision, yeah. Because that's so important. I mean,
sure.
It's not just paint by numbers. You take somebody like Brad Armstrong who has very, a vision, right. Very distinct vision of what he wants to shoot.
Versus now he's got to do some, I'm going to look into some graphs and some stuff, and based upon those.
So-and-so has X amount of Twitter followers. We think she's going to be we're going to get more clicks, but the person can't act, or the person can't carry a film.
Right. Well, I guess we're seeing that. We're also seeing that in the mainstream thing, right? People are getting famous over YouTube views.
Are there stars anymore? Are there really porn stars?
Yeah, I cringe at the word porn star. I hear girls saying it. I'm a porn star in a dialogue conversation I overheard her with you on a phone, and I'm like, how is that possible?
But you were a star because you and I and Marcus were having dinner last week in Vegas, and we had 3 seasoned professional, well-known men and at the table, and the girl came up to you and asked you if you were Tommy Gunn. So,
I don't know if that translates to a star, though. I don't know. I mean, I'm a very humble, modest guy.
She knew your name. You were recognizable.
Yeah.
And they wanted a picture with you.
Sure.
You're a star.
Right. Yeah, I guess it's, again.
Are the stars dying?
I guess the ability to develop them. But no, you know what? Maybe it's, hey, who knows? Maybe the platform for developing stars has multiplied now because of the social medias, the Twitters and the Facebooks and the whatever. Maybe that even provides more of an opportunity to become a star, right? I mean, let's face it. Who's the biggest star by virtue of just being popular or famous because they have no
Kim Kardashian.
Particular talent whatsoever?
Kim Kardashian.
Perfect case scenario of.
And she got famous from a porn tape.
Someone by being famous by a
tape.
No particular talent whatsoever.
Yeah.
Porn tape.
Yeah.
It's funny how.
Don't tell Kanye that.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I'm still scratching my head.
Is there's competing formats. Obviously, streaming is the new way.
Webcamming and stuff.
Webcamming. The market is flooded. Yes or no? There's too much content.
I guess is the market flooded or not? Is there too much content? I guess there's so many ways for it to be viewed now.
But porn is made around the world. I mean,
Porn is made around the world. Yeah.
You can go to any these online sites they've never set foot in California, Los Angeles. They've never used any of the performers here. But they're finding girls, they're finding talent, and they're shooting on a camera in Budapest or in Russia or wherever, and they're putting it up on the web, and people are buying it, and they're downloading it.
I guess porn is here to stay, and it's never going to go anywhere because it's a human thing.
In your mind, is that less professional than what we do out here?
In my mind, is that less professional than what we do out here?
Setting up a camera in an apartment in Prague, and
just doing a sex
with no dialogue and no
just
no
boy
story.
meets girl, not even talking.
Is that less professional than a 5-day feature?
Yeah, production wise, I guess it's less. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, less professional.
Let me ask you this. We'll revisit that question. People don't realize the amount of time we spend on sets.
Sure.
That is not used. We're just sitting around waiting. It's not, for the most part, when we're doing features, we're there
For
12, 13, 14, 16, 18 hours. What does that do to you when you're just sitting in an environment where you really can't leave? Can't really do an activity, something at home, and you're just sitting around and waiting. What does it do to you as a person? Does it kill you? Does it?
I kind of took it. I took it as it came with the territory, sitting around waiting on a set. It was part of the job description. The job in itself is the job in itself, but it also came with standing by and waiting and learning your lines and waiting for your turn to go. So if you want to do this business, you should be open to sitting on set up to 10, 18-hour days. Tragically, that doesn't happen much anymore in terms of the girls accepting that, because most of them are all like, so how long is this going to take? Right off the bat, the first words that come out of their mouth are, how long is this going to take? Because I have a private to do. What? Yeah, I have a private. What do you mean? An escort. They're all escorts now at this point. I remember there was a time when if you heard somebody was an escort, you never worked with them again.
Right.
Now, it's common. It's a common rung on the ladder.
It's a lunch.
You come into the business.
Yeah.
You go up on an escort site, whether you know it or not.
Yeah, more money.
And
there's no way to know.
And there's no way to know who's doing what or
how responsible they are.
Yeah, right.
Somebody offers you $5,000. Let me fuck you up, dude, baby. I don't want to wear a condom. I swear to God, I have a test. I don't have a disease.
Or maybe now they're even getting tested and they're providing with a result.
I think they are.
Yeah. How do we feel about that? I don't know.
You and Marcus London had done a great movie based upon Spartacus?
Television show.
Television show. My question, what it pertains to, is the creativity, the vision, the desire to make erotic movies and to have somewhat of a departure from reality, make believe, and to do it in such a way that it's actually not just about the sex, but it's about the story. And you guys did this movie, and what was your reaction? What were you hoping that the industry would give back in terms of you've made this great movie? Were you looking to change the direction of how movies were being done? Were you just doing it for yourself? Were you trying to prove that you were as gifted as these other people working in the industry?
I think for me, more of the movie was a passion project. You know, I love, I don't want to say me individually. We made 85% of the stuff that's on camera. We had everything to do with it. We touched it, we made it, we assembled it, we put it there. You know, so for me it was just like, what can we do to outdo ourselves, and what can we do to, at this point in time, just make something so great? Whether or not anyone cared or not, I personally didn't, that wasn't my goal. It was just, I think for me it was just, I'm blessed with an opportunity to distract myself from my normal mundane life of just doing whatever, because I feel like I'm always, the mundane for me is very difficult for me to handle sometimes. It's just, so for me, I got an opportunity to really, to just, submerge myself into some really awesome things, making making the swords, making the helmets, making the back thing, making the piece, making the thing. And then after that was all done and assembled, now we're going to be in the movie. So I got to, I guess, achieve and satisfy myself in a number of areas where I really enjoy those things. The acting part was great. The performing part was awesome. Building the stuff and doing those things. And with every great, every good thing must come to an end. There's always an end. Everything is temporary. So, we made a great movie. We put our hearts and soul into it. Hopefully other people would have recognized it. And I think they did in some capacity, but,
It was far better than what 90% of the stuff
ever,
was being produced
at the time. At the time. For me, like I said, for me, I just wanted to be part of something great. Team up with some people that I really enjoyed working with. It enabled me to work with a dear friend of mine who did the stunts. We literally woke up, walked out of the kitchen, and were on set. And that was awesome. And, I would have liked to see it done better, but I wasn't trying to change history or change the future of the business. It was a shame that it didn't do as good, but again, we're all only here for a short amount of time, collectively, in our lives, and we're all learning every day what we want, what we don't want, what we will do, what we won't do, and so on and so forth. So it's hard to say if I was disappointed in any capacity of the results from not winning awards or whatever. One of the things I wish it would have done better was, being a little more successful sales-wise. I wasn't part of that particular area of the deal in terms of navigating that. But
what do you think the difficulties were, and do you think it was not marketed correctly or to the right distribution channels?
I don't know. Honestly, I think it would be. I think when I try to go there to think about it, I find myself in an unpleasant thought in area. So I just say, yeah, it is what it is, and there it was. We made a movie, and I always think it's great, and I have it immortalized on a DVD to watch forever. Whether it sold 10 million copies or 3, it was fun. It was fun to make. Maybe I wish some of our business took a little more pride in doing some of the things they do versus just let's assemble a bunch of people, put together a bunch of crap on a piece of paper and shoot it because we're going to just ride the wave of something else that was successful and we'll just cash in and it's a bastardized way of making money, but who knows.
What do you think of people who only shoot parodies?
Got to find a place where you fit in somewhere, I guess.
Well, you did a parody. You were in...
Well, parodies is like in a comedic attempt to...
Sure, okay.
This was an homage to my... It was kind of like in the spirit of... there was no...
Well, there was a recent one that you were... you played...
Hustle.
American Hustle, yeah.
Again, it was fun. We're not trying to make the Titanic. I'm sure it'll be done. Titanic XXX.
Were you when they told you that they were doing that? Did you expect something, and then when you arrived on set and saw the script, you're like, "Oh God, this is so."
Again, I think at this point I've just gotten so callous and whatever to some of the goings on in the business. I just said, "All right, you want me to do this? You want me to wear that? You want me to say these things? I'll do my best." Okay, you're paying me that? Cool. All right, let's do it. And I did it. It ended, and I stayed up 24 hours and didn't go to sleep and flew home and worked the following day.
Is there a director that worked in the past that maybe you never worked with that you would, if they were alive today, called you up and said, "Hey, I got a role," that get you excited?
Well, I worked for Buck Adams, and he was a pretty amazing guy in himself, Buck Adams, and a bit of a tragic life that he led, or I should say his ending was, he ran pretty hard, that guy. And I think we actually did a little tribute to him in the movie. I wanted to put his names in the credit there in honor of Buck Adams because he just wanted to do big stuff and, really do some really cool things. And he was one of my biggest fans, actually. He called me Big Time all the time. Big Time, blah, blah, blah. And he's a guy that...
You think he saw himself in you?
Possibly. I think he may have seen himself in me, yeah. Great guy, Buck Adams. Miss him. But I guess, maybe he's like a good example of what the business can do to someone. He ran hard and he made an impact on me at least, whether that means anything or not. I'm sure he did on some other people. Buck Adams. I often think to myself, will I be a Buck Adams? Not in a bad way, because we're all the male figures of the business. What does the business do to us? Inevitably, at the end of the day, when all the lights go out, and we're laying in the bed alone. It's a strange irony. I always thought that I would, in some way, maybe do a book someday. I don't know, just some of the things that I've experienced with, and I thought that a photo would be, like, a real powerful photo would be just sitting in a bed. Alone, because this bed signified where I got my fame. And that I made this bed, now I have to lie in it. And that whole type of,
That's good.
This is where I built the name, and this is where the name in itself will end up being.
You said it perfectly though. You said, this is
my bed. Now I have to lie in it.
Say it one more time.
This is my bed, and now I have to lie in it. And that's. I think about that all the time, so to speak.
Tommy Gunn, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's awesome.
Anyway.
Hopefully, it'll be received and appreciated.